Welcome to Her Subconscious Blueprint, your no BS space for subconscious healing, bold breakthroughs, and manifestations. I'm Jen Boyd, hypnotherapist, mindset coach, and your new healing hype girl. Okay, let's get into it today. Have you ever looked around at your life, at your job, your relationships, your bank account, your health, and thought, I know there's more for me than this. So why do I feel so stuck? Or maybe you've done all the vision boards, read all the books, journaled until your pen ran dry, but you're still not where you want to be. Let me tell you something, and I want this to really stick. Most of the time, what's keeping us stuck isn't the economy, it's not your job, it's not even your partner or your parents. It's what's going on in your own mind. Specifically, it's the subconscious stories we've been picking up and believed to be true, usually without even realizing it. There's this quote from Alice Walker that says, "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any." Let me say that again. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. And when I first read that years ago, it really hit me and resonated. Because that had been my entire life. I didn't feel powerful. I felt like things were just happening to me. Like I was reacting and surviving and trying to hold it all together while pretending I was fine. But I wasn't fine. I was holding on to so many beliefs that weren't mine. Beliefs that were inherited, conditioned, learned, and absorbed, and repeated so often that they became part of my identity. They shaped me. And once I started to untangle those beliefs and create new ones, that is when everything changed. And the good news is you can also let go of the limiting beliefs holding you back. You'll start to realize they were only there to protect you. They kept you safe when you were younger. But now they're becoming the exact things keeping you stuck in old patterns. It's like wearing floaties in the shallow end, even when you're fully capable of swimming in the deep. That's when you know it's time for an upgrade. So today we're going to talk about the 5 most common limiting beliefs that hold people back from living the life they actually want and deserve and desire, and how to break free from them. I'll also be sharing the exact tools and questions I use when coaching to help you start shifting this today. And before we jump in, I just want you to take a breath. And I want you to know that you're not broken. Everybody has limiting beliefs, but most don't even know they exist. They're so ingrained in us, it's hard to recognize them. But these beliefs aren't who you are. They're just thoughts that got repeated for far too long. But we're changing that starting today. And the good news, anything learned can be unlearned. Your mind is flexible. It's plastic, hence the word neuroplasticity. Your identity, it's not fixed, and your life can expand at any time. So, what do you say we get started? The first belief I want to talk about is the one I think we all struggle with at some point, and that is the belief that I'm not enough. Ugh, that one. It's a dream killer, a joy thief, a subtle sabotage. And it shows up in 1,000 sneaky little ways. You don't go after that job because you don't feel qualified enough. You stay in that toxic relationship because you don't feel lovable enough. You don't raise your prices because you don't feel worthy enough. This belief isn't always loud. It's more like a whisper in the back of your mind that creeps in just when you're about to leap. It says, "Who do you think you are?" And it's running the show. It doesn't matter how much you achieve. It'll never feel like enough because you don't feel like enough. And when you don't feel like we're enough on your own, we start looking for someone else to tell us that we are. We start seeking that feeling of worthiness from the outside, from other people, from praise, from likes, from love. It becomes this silent ask. Can you see me? Can you validate me? Can you fill this void? I don't know how to fill it myself. And while that might feel good for a minute, it's very dangerous and very fragile. Because the moment someone withholds it or changes their mind or walks away, you're left empty. That's the danger of outsourcing your worth. When someone else gives it to you, they can take it away. But when you give it to yourself, when you decide that you are enough right here, right now, it becomes unshakable. No one can take away what you've already claimed. One of my mentors, Marissa Peer, she taught me this simple but powerful phrase: I am enough. That's it. 3 little words can literally rewire your entire identity. And I know it sounds almost too simple, but that's what makes it so effective. When you speak that over and over your life every single day, your subconscious starts to listen, and then it starts to believe it. Because here's the thing, your brain is always listening. It believes what you say, especially when you say it with emotion. So say it out loud, write it on your mirror, make it the background of your phone, tape it to your steering wheel, your laptop, your fridge, whatever. Saturate your world with it, because repetition is what rewires the subconscious. I even created a hypnosis called Becoming the Loving You, and I'll link it in the show notes. It's about dissolving the not enough wound right at the root, because it's one thing to say the word, it's another to actually feel them in your body, to embody it and anchor it in. And when you pair that with affirmations, with relaxation, the subconscious can access that and it understands that language. That's when the shift happens on a cellular level. So if you've been carrying around that belief like a backpack full of bricks, girl, it's time to set it down, because you are enough. You've always been enough, exactly as you are. No upgrades needed. You just forgot for a little while, and now it's time to remember. The second belief that robs people of their joy and potential is the one, I don't deserve success. Ugh. This one hits deep. And what's wild is that most people don't even realize they're carrying it. They'll self-sabotage opportunities. They'll procrastinate. They'll shrink when they're meant to expand. And it all comes down to that inner belief that says, who am I to have this? Maybe you believe that success is reserved for other people. Maybe you believe that it's for the ones who grew up in a stable home, who had connections, who were confident from day one, who didn't see people like them that came from chaos, who carry trauma. You didn't see them as successful. So you unconsciously blocked it. But here's how to break it. Start questioning everything. Every belief that pops up, ask, is this true? Is this mine? Have I ever questioned this before? Do I even want this belief? Because your beliefs are inherited from your family, school, religion, or even society, and you never take the time to audit them. They will run your life by default. We have to install a new version of what success gets to look like and feel like, not based on hustle or burnout or what looks good on Instagram, but based on your values, your joy, your soul's path. So if you've ever felt like abundance and joy are for other people, I want you to remember this. You were born worthy. You don't have to earn that. It is your birthright. All right. The third belief is money is the root of all evil. How many times have we heard that? We've all heard this maybe growing up or on TV or in conversations. Maybe not those exact words, but things like money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy or we can't afford that. These phrases get burned into our subconscious, especially when we're little. And even if you're consciously trying to grow your business or call in wealth, if deep down you believe money is dangerous or wrong, your mind will block it every single time. Money is not evil. Money is neutral. It's a tool. It amplifies who you are. If you are generous and kind, money lets you do more of that. If you want to serve and support and heal, money is going to expand your reach. You can rewrite your money story. I've talked about this in prior episodes. So ask yourself, what did I learn about money as a kid? What did I see growing up? What do I feel when someone talks about wealth or money? And be honest. Maybe you get uncomfortable. Maybe you get judgmental. Maybe you get anxious. That's okay. That's your clue to the wound. Start with a new affirmation, something like, I welcome money as a tool for doing good and living abundantly. Because the way you feel about money determines how easily it flows to you. And belief number 4 is change is too hard. This is a big one because change does feel hard when you've tried and failed before. When you've done the vision boards, the New Year's resolutions, the cleanse, the journal, and nothing sticks, chances are you went too big. Try to go small, then big. When you go big, you don't change your inner beliefs. You give up too soon. But I want you to hear me. The reason those things didn't work wasn't because you failed. It's because your subconscious wasn't on board. You were trying to force change at the conscious level, but your deeper programming hadn't shifted. The mind learns through repetition and emotion. And if you constantly practice new thoughts and behaviors, your brain literally rewires. You're not stuck. Your mind is just conditioned. Here are a few affirmations that you can try each day to feel more aligned with the version of who you want to become. The key is consistency, visualization, rehearsing the future that you want until it feels more familiar. Until it feels more familiar than your past. Speak it, see it, feel it. That's how you start living from your future. Instead of repeating your fears, try these affirmations. Change gets to be safe. Change gets to be supportive. Change gets to feel good. I don't have to get it perfect. I just have to keep going. I trust the process even when I can't see the full picture yet. And you can do an exercise before you go to bed. Just close your eyes and picture your future self. Who are you when you're free from these beliefs? What do you wear? What do you eat? What do you say? What do you do? What decisions do you make from that version of you? Practice being her now. The faster you become her, the faster your reality catches up. And the last belief I want to talk about today is, I'm afraid of what others will think. This one used to run my life. I would literally replay conversations in my head 20 times, edit captions 30 times before I posted, say yes when I wanted to scream just to avoid disappointment or disappointing someone or making them uncomfortable. But here's what I learned. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. You might as well live in the way that lights you up. Most of our fears and judgments come from our childhood. Maybe your parents said things like, "What will the neighbors think?" or "Don't draw attention to yourself." And your inner child took that to mean, it's not safe to be seen. And let me let you in on a little secret. The neighbors never did think. They were too worried about themselves. But babe, you're an adult now, and your safety no longer lives in someone else's opinion. One of my favorite mantras is, other people's opinions are none of my business. And it's not your job to be liked by everyone. It's your job to be authentic. So take the risk, share your truth, say no, show up messy, speak from your heart. It's time to stop hiding. Because the truth is, you were never too much. You were never not enough. And you were never unworthy of more. You were just running on outdated programming, trying to keep yourself safe in a world that taught you to play small. So now you've been heard. The 5 sneaky beliefs that keep so many of us stuck. But I want to give you one more thing before we wrap up, because awareness is everything, but application is where the real magic starts and happens. So let's talk about how to actually start catching these beliefs in the wild when they're happening in real life. Start by listening to your language. Your words will always give you clues. Do you say things like, "I always mess this up," or "That's just how I am," or "I could never do that"? Or maybe you've said, "I wish I could, but ... These are breadcrumb trails back to your beliefs. The next time you catch one of those sneaky little thoughts or phrases, just pause and say to yourself, is this true? Or is this a program I've been running on autopilot? That simple question interrupts the pattern and puts you back in the driver's seat. Another tool you can use is future journaling. Write from the version of you who no longer holds that belief. What would she say? What would she do? What would she never settle for? This isn't just fluff. This is neuroscience. The brain can't tell the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. That is how we rewire. So next time that inner critic pipes up, just say thank you for trying to protect me, but we're not doing things that way anymore. We're doing things different. But now you know better. And when you know better, you get to do better. You're not stuck. You were just running on old patterns, and patterns can be rewritten. Those beliefs we talked about today, they aren't who you are. They're just old stories and lies you've been telling yourself. And guess what, babe? You get to write new ones. You get to reclaim your power. You get to say, this belief stops with me. And that one choice, that one shift in awareness is the beginning of an entirely different life. So my invitation to you this week is simple. Notice. Notice the voice that whispers doubt. Catch the moment you shrink. Pause that old belief that tries to hijack your power. And lovingly choose something new. Something more true. Something that feels like you. Tell yourself a better story. Because you are not here to dim your light. You are here to shine so fucking bright that people might need sunglasses. Before we close, I just want to speak directly to the version of you who needed this today. To the you who's tired of feeling like she's doing everything right, but still hitting a wall. To the you who's been carrying invisible bricks of not enough, too much, who do you think you are, for way too long. To the you who knows deep down she was made for more, but just needed someone to remind her she's allowed to go get it. You're not crazy. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You are healing. You're awakening. You're coming home to the truth of who you've always been. And I hope today felt like a deep exhale. I've left you with some important links in the show notes to help you start rewriting your new, more empowered beliefs. And I am so full of love and gratitude that I get to share my story with you. This is Her Subconscious Blueprint, where we don't just chase the dreams, we become them. And remember, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. So go out and be that version of her today. Much love and gratitude. I will see you next time.